everybody? Welcome back to another edition of what we actually got three different shows here. We got Sports Gambling Daily, we got Peyton Sports Girl here, and we got Live Betting
Hey,
Sports Daily. What's going on, fellas and ladies?
fellas and ladies.
I decided not to wear my Prescott jersey. I didn't want to get kicked off the show.
That's a good idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I know. That's good. Now we got a split screen, so that's good. We got more people. More the better. That's cool. Ready to rock and roll.
That's right. All right, so we got a lot of games to get in here or get into today. So let's jump right on in. I got my notes up. Y'all ready to roll?
Ready.
Yes.
All right.
rock-
So the first game we got White Sox versus the Natties. Looks like we got Annabelle Sanchez taking on Covey. As far as the line goes, what you got, Joe?
Well, obviously I got the Nats as being heavy favorites. Lined up at 180 I'm showing, but again, going back to the same thing we talked about yesterday in the videos, which by the way, a lot of people made comments that they love the idea that we're just kind of going over the games, and it was pretty neat, I love the response there on the YouTube. So if you're watching, guys, leave the comments, leave the feedback. We love to hear what we could do to improve the show. I know one comment was that they want, a kind of a more of a pick after we're all done with the show. But again, if you want our real picks or the ones we're on, go to each of our shows, Peyton on her channel, me on my channel, and of course, Jared. So getting back to that. So leaving off from yesterday, same thing. I'm going to go and stay off the game again. I'm going to go back to watching the game like I did yesterday with the Nats and take them maybe live. Like yesterday, perfect spot. The Sox went up quick, as we know, because we had the Sox. And then you had a perfect spot to bet the Nats. You could have taken like plus money and do that. So same thing I'm going to do with that. Watch them in game. That's what I have on that.
So what you thinking, Peyton?
One of my personal picks is on this game,
Okay.
on the over-under. Not going to give it out, though. Ha, ha,
All
ha.
right.
You have to watch my video. I see that the books really think that the Natties are going to win. They lost a lot of value in that line, and the White Sox have a little bit of value, but I personally wouldn't pick this game. But if I had to choose, I would wait for the White Sox if possible if they scored first, and then I would put a little bit down on the Nats.
That makes sense. Yeah, so I guess I forgot to mention, definitely check out Peyton Sports Girls YouTube channel and also Joe as well. I'll leave a link to both of their channels in the description of this video, but also they also will post this video as well. At least I'm pretty sure you guys will. But also in my video I actually had this game. So I'm not going to give away this game. If you want this pick, you got to come to my channel and watch the video. But I will say that I do see a little bit of value on the White Sox here. Okay, so let's move on to the Dodgers versus the Diamondbacks. What you got, Joe?
Well, do you want the Homer play or the World Series? No, I mean, here we go back again to the well. Dodgers are just like unbelievable. Last night in chat, we were just even talking about that on Discord. I mean, at one point, it looked like an under. I mean, on my video, I had them as an over, but it looked dicey. Mm-hmm. And then just Dodgers rattle off runs late, as always. And Arizona just complete shambles. So I'm going to lean towards the Dodgers, but again, I'm going to try to play them in-game. Mm-hmm. Although I do feel that Maeda is a little vulnerable in this spot. His numbers are a little bit, not as strong as at Dodger Stadium. But again, it's just the same thing. I don't want to lay all that juice. I'm just not a juice man. I don't like to, I just, so I'm going to watch that. But I do lean towards my Dodgers and then possibly an under. But again, if you want more breakdown, go to my video. The Dodgers are always on my picks, no matter what. I always tell you where the Dodgers are going on my video. That's a little bit of a teaser there. So that's what I have.
I see that the Dodgers should have opened up at -212, and Arizona should have opened up at a +126. So both of these teams are getting value from the books. So, but the Dodgers have won 7 straight up their last 7 games. Mm-hmm. So baseball is very trendy. So I would lean towards the Dodgers here and the over.
I would agree with that completely. 7 straight up wins. You don't ever want to fade a streak. Because like you said, you never know. It's going to continue to roll and roll. If I had to bet this game, I would also take the Dodgers, even though laying minus 150 ish or so. So it's not the worst bet, I don't think. So I agree completely with your assessment, both of y'all.
So we're consensus on that pick, Dodgers. Okay, right.
I would agree.
Dodgers over. I'm not going to bet that game though. But
yeah. Well, we all agree on the side.
We have to bet every game though, so we're gonna help those people out.
Well, that's why this is for all the parlay fillers, Jared. So
right. So this is 15 team parlay. Yeah, so we're all leaning Dodgers here. All right, next up, Phillies versus the Padres. Who wants to start that one? Why don't you go ahead, Payton?
All right. Maybe he should go first.
All right. Just a quick before we start that. Well, Philly, just a little recap from yesterday. That again, there was a guy in. Shout out to you, Gil, if you're watching. Gil from overseas in Portugal. We were watching that before the Philly game started. He asked me, so Joe, what are you leaning on this? I said, look, you know what? Phillies have great value. I mean, everybody's on Paddock. Take Phillies, but if you can, wait for the first inning, see how Paddock is, because if he's on, it's going to be a little. Well, it worked out perfectly. We took Phillies plus money after the first inning, and we just killed it. So it was a pretty good pick, So, again, I don't have anything as far as a line. Maybe Payne can share on that because I'm not showing on my
I don't have any of the lines. That's why I was trying to pull it up. And I hate giving picks when I can't see the lines because I want to give some value there.
Sure. Well, just off of the surface, we got Jake Arrieta taking on Quantrill, I think it's how you say it. Arrieta's allowed 10 hits and 5 runs in 5 innings versus the Dodgers, which seems to be the stat line for anybody that takes on the Dodgers lately. And then of course Cal, he's moving back and forth between AAA. So I think this is a good spot for Jake Arrieta and the Phillies. Unfortunately, we don't know what the line is, so we might have to be paying some juice on the road to be able to get this one done. So we'll go ahead and move on.
Phillies too.
Yeah. Okay. So we got the Braves taking on the Pirates. We got
Mr. Musgrove.
Yeah, the former Astro Joe Musgrove, of the 2017 World Series champions Astros. Kevin Gossman on the other end for the Braves. Who wants to start this one?
I'll do it.
All right.
If I had to choose, I would definitely pick the Pirates. Even though they're losing value, they should have opened at positive 140, and they opened at positive 114.
Okay.
But I would still pick them. They've won the last 3 games straight up, and it looks like they're on a trend. They're starting a trend, and I would also do the under 9.5.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah. I mean, after yesterday's kind of debacle with Atlanta. With Freed, no less. That was a crazy game. We were all watching that on Chat Again Live betting.
Unreal game. Yeah.
I mean, I was like that first inning again. It's just this is just a little thing for guys that are betting the first inning. You're really just kind of doing a coin flip. I mean, people ask me, first inning bet. There's like no data, in my opinion. It's all just luck in a way, or I guess if you want to call it that. So on this game in particular, I am going to lean with Atlanta, but again, I'm not convinced 100%, especially since Payton pointed out that value, and I see that a little bit of value on Pittsburgh. But again, I don't trust either team, to be honest.
Well, here's a fun little stat for you guys. Kevin Gossman, he's the first starter in Braves history to allow 8 hits and 8 earned runs in 1 inning or less. So that's not the kind of category you want to be in.
No, really.
Musgrove on the other end, May was awful for him. He gave up 30 runs in 30 innings over 6 starts. So hopefully both of these pitchers will be able to figure it out. If I had to take a spot here, I probably would go Braves, but I don't have a strong lean either way.
And another reason I would go with Pirates is because I think that the books believe that the Pirates will win because Atlanta should have opened at negative 171, and they are currently at negative 125, and so I don't believe the books believe that they will win because they're giving a lot of value to Atlanta, but that's kind of like my conspiracy theory.
That's fair enough. All right, let's move on to the next one. We don't want to make too long of a video here. I know how Joe likes to talk, so I'm just kidding, Joe. All right, next up, Yankees versus the Toronto Blue Jays. James Paxton, which had a hell of a game last time out versus the Padres, coming off that injury versus Trent Thornton. What you got, Joe?
The Big Maple, huh? On this game, I'm staying. It's a stay off game completely because again, my play yesterday was again betting against the Yankees off that Boston series, like I said. So that was a
Yeah.
good little personal bet I did. Although Boston did win, but again, you're almost I don't say guaranteed, but you're almost one of those teams is going to lose. So to me, Yankees was a spot to fade them. Today, I think they bounce back with Paxton, but again, I'm not going to go out and lay minus 200. I just don't do that.
Sure, sure,
So
sure.
I mean, but I mean, it's the Blue Jays are just horrible. I mean, in my opinion, Vladdy, Biggio. I mean, they got good batters, at least young talent, but
You're young.
they're young. I mean, it's just to me, it's Blue Jays are a stay away. So
Sure.
that's what I have.
Peyton.
For me, okay, so with the Yankees and Paxton, the line should have opened up at negative 180, and it's negative 210.
Okay.
And for Thornton, it was 184. That's what it should have opened up at, positive, and it's positive 188 right now. And so that's about even. So there's a little tiny bit of value on the Blue Jays. The Yankees aren't going to lose every single game of the series, but because the Blue Jays are still at home, I think that they're going to win this one today.
Okay, so you're taking Blue Jays here. I mean, that's good value.
Yeah, it's really good value.
And also Thornton, he's been solid over his last 4 starts for the Blue Jays. So, but this will be the first time he's ever taken on the Yankees. So we'll see. Being at home, I can see that. That might be a play that I might take later on.
That's a good dog. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one here. We have
the line is on the reverse run line on the Blue Jays on that one. The game finished within a point yesterday.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the run line, but I would imagine you could probably get close to plus money on the Blue Jays at plus 1.5. All right, it's something to consider for sure. So, all right, so we got the Rays taking on the Tigers. Now, the Tigers came in and kicked the Rays' ass yesterday. Beat up Snell pretty bad, destroyed my underplay.
Oh,
So, didn't like that. But anyway, so we got today was it Spencer Turnbull taking on Uncle Charlie Morton, the former Astro, big game Charlie. So what you got, Peyton?
I would definitely lean toward the Tigers here, but the Tigers always screw me over, so I don't usually bet their games.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that.
Tampa Bay is trending. They've won the past 4 games, so but the books are taking away some of the Tigers' value. They should have opened at positive 199, and they're positive 162. So I think the books are thinking that the Tigers are going to win, and I'd also do the under 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna go on the limb here and say I like the Tigers, especially after they had some of that fight yesterday. I watched that game too. That was Miggy just killed our over, so he wants to go and put some runs up. But I do like the Tigers as a dog. If again, these are just going back to what we said, these are leans that if we were to play in gun to head, I do like the Tigers over the Tampa Bay as a dog. I mean, again, because we have to pick some dogs after yesterday's bloodbath. People don't even realize that dogs are gonna win. I mean, that's just it. But yeah, I'm Detroit Tigers are nothing for me.
all right, so the way I look at this, so I've known Charlie Morton back from when he was with the Astros, and in the past, he's always been good at big games, and this, in my opinion, is nothing of the sort. So he typically plays down, but this year it's been kind of different. He's 6-0 this year with a 2.54 ERA. Now, he has 2 career starts versus the Tigers, where he's 0-1 with a 4.15 ERA over 13 innings. I definitely see some value here in the Tigers, but I probably will stay off this game only because Charlie Morton has been pitching absolutely incredible this year. So
yeah, I agree. He's the ace of the mound now. He's the ace of their staff.
Yeah.
Glass now went down. Earlier, so he's a good pitcher. I agree.
All right, let's move on to the Giants versus the Mets. Who wants to start this one?
Is this go ahead? You got Payton? Go ahead. It doesn't matter.
All right, I can go ahead. Let's see. Mets are trending down right now with 3 losses straight up. And I think that this might be a bounce back spot for them. Okay. They're losing a lot of value, though. I would never bet negative 130 when they were supposed to open up at positive 111.
Oh, wow.
I think that I think they're going to win, and I also think that this game's going to go over.
Okay. That makes sense. Jason Vargas, he's 2-1 with a 2.212 ERA in 5 career starts versus the Giants. He also tossed 7 innings of 1-run ball versus Joe's Dodgers. So that was one of the lone bright spots for the Mets during that Dodgers series. So what are you thinking, Joe?
That was about. I was gonna just add to that. That was about it. I mean, with the guy, here's an interesting stat. When a guy averages the lowest fastball, mile per hour speed at 86. I mean, come on. I mean, Vargas to me is just he's horrible. I mean, but again, like you said, I mean, to me the Dodger game was an anomaly. I mean, it was one of those things where he had a good game, he got up for it, but I mean, I mean, I can't back any of these teams. I mean, yesterday San Francisco was a dog that I was watching, especially after coming to find out it was Bruce Bochy's 1,000th career win, which was good for him. That was Bumgarner was pitching for him. So I just to me it's a stay away game. But if I had to pick gun to head, yeah, a little lean on the Mets. But they're both horrible teams.
Okay. I would probably lean Mets, but it's razor thin. For me as well. All right, let's move on to the Twins versus the Indians. Now, this was a game yesterday that you and I both said it's kind of fishy. It was kind of trappy, and I think we were right here. Indians came in and beat the Twins. Now, today we got Martin Perez versus Carrasco.
Yeah.
So Indians coming off that win. What do you think is going to happen today?
Like I said, Cookie Carrasco going up. I like him pitching. He's a big game pitcher, although he's looked like trash the last couple of starts. I don't. Like I said, this is another game I'm not going to go run out and bet. Yesterday was the game, like I said, that we both liked, and I bet a little bit on my personal. But today I'm just. I mean, that Minnesota already is getting a lot of money. I'm looking at the line movement. I mean, the public's all over Minnesota, so there's a lot of public money coming in. And a lot of, like I said, just recreational bettors. So I'm going to watch the line move all the way up to, first pitch and probably, fire away at Cleveland. But again, that's just if you want the update, go to the chat, the Discord, and I update all my games that I'm on. So that's where I'm at.
What I see is the past two, the Indians' record is 2-17 against left-handed pitchers in their last 19 games. So they do really bad against left-handed pitchers.
That's a great stat.
Perez is left-handed. And the line should have been -162, and it's +118. So there's a lot of value there for the Twins. So I can kind of see why the public's leaning that. But I also think that the public's going to look at these stats. Like when Perez has played in the month of June, the past 12 games, they've gone 12-1. And the public can see all these stats. So I don't know what to do, really. I would stay away from this game, but there's a lot of value in the Twins today.
It totally makes sense, especially. So, name that stat again. What was the win-loss record for the left-handed pitchers?
Indians are 2-17 against left-handed pitchers in their last 19 games against left-handed pitchers.
That's a very significant trend there. So, that's definitely something to consider for sure. Good stat.
And Carrasco, how do you say that? Carrasco. He's known for giving up early runs. So if you want to bet this game, do it early. If you're going to bet the Twins.
Wait, who is that?
Carrasco.
Carrasco. All right. Roll again. That's good.
I'll just call him Carrasco. It's easier to say.
I'm like,
okay. All right. I'm leaning Twins on this one. It's not a bet yet. It might be something I add later to my card, but I lean Twins in that one. All right. The Marlins, the World Series bound Marlins taking on the Brewers. Now the Marlins, they scored like 104 runs yesterday. That was one of my additional plays I added to my card yesterday. It was one of the bright spots. You got Jimmy Nelson coming up from AAA from the minor leagues, so he's going to be starting today. So there's not much of any information on Jimmy Nelson, and he's taking on Sandy Alcantara. I think it's how you say it. Yeah, so what do you think, Joe?
First of all, it's Alcantara, but I'm sorry. Well, I mean, it's good. I'm sorry. I have to throw in a little Spanish there because yesterday was good luck with Castillo, which we won. Remember? I mean, I mean that was a good.
Castillo.
I said Castillo. I said Castillo. So I mean, people were like, okay, but I mean, again, it go back to we were on chat betting this game, and I was on the game obviously with the Miami, but some of the guys jumped on it. They just were like amazed that Miami scored so many runs, like 17 runs. I mean, like
they scored 11 runs in one inning, which is a franchise record.
I mean, it's just crazy. They just went. I mean, so to me, it's like they shot their wad yesterday. I don't know. I'm like, I don't believe in either pitcher, to be honest. I mean, the line is super high. Obviously, there's value on Miami if you're just a value better.
I can see that. Yeah.
Just, I mean, out of pure
especially
value.
going against a rookie pitcher and Nelson.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if people start, right now, like I said, not a lot of money on Miami, but again, that is definitely going to change before game time, and I might be one of those guys that jumps on Miami again. But
Yeah.
again, looking at that, so like
Do
I
you know how
said,
many innings Alcantara usually stays in the game? I didn't get to look that up.
Mm.
I don't have that stat, but to me, that stat's a little misleading sometimes because, like, especially with these bullpens now that the managers are so strict on a pitch count. Like that's why yesterday I was rooting, yay Castillo, they're leaving him in, after 100 pitches, and all the announcers were like, whoa, he's on a pitch count. It's like, come on, guys. I mean, he had extra day rest. Let the kid pitch. I mean, and he
Right.
went 6 innings. It was like an awesome game. I was like, yeah, I love it. I love when strong pitchers go, like I said, full game if they can. Like Ryu yesterday. So, just to shout out, like I said, these are the two stud pitchers of the night. Ryu and Castillo. So little pre, I want to put those on my video tonight, but stud pitchers. So that's all I have to say. Go ahead.
So in the last 15, to answer your question, Peyton, the last 15 games that old Sandy has pitched, he's pitched 61 or 64 innings over 11 starts. So that averages out to a little over 5 innings per start.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, it's just if there's better games, go for it. But like I said, this is not what I'm running up.
Do you have a lean on this one?
Oh, do I have a lean? Yeah, I do.
Okay, what you got?
The Brewers, they're on a losing trend. They just started their losing trend. So I'm thinking that they're going to lose today because Miami's on a 3 in a row win streak, and I just think they're going to keep up that pace.
Okay. I can see it. I would probably lean towards the extra money here going against Jimmy Nelson, which, the note I do have is he's been spending time rehabbing a shoulder surgery, even though apparently he was solid in 5 games down there in AAA. But, when you come up, even when you're taking on the Marlins, it's just not going to be easy for him. So I probably would lean towards Miami myself. All right, let's see here. Let's moving on along. We have the Cubbies. Somebody finally beat the Rockies. So Cubbies versus Rockies. You got Marquez versus Darvish. Why don't you start us off, Peyton?
All right, this would be totally a value pick for me. I would definitely choose the Rockies. I would never lay negative 142 when they should have opened at negative 103 for the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. Darvish is amazing, but I found this record that kind of scared me off of the Cardinals. So when the Cardinals have played at home during the past 3 years, straight up record is 2-5. They've gone 4-8, so that's I couldn't bet the Cardinals losing value.
Do we skip? Are we on the Cubs, Colorado Cubs, or Cardinals Reds? Jared, I missed that.
We were on the Rockies versus.
I'm like, wait a minute. I lost you guys. But that was a good breakdown, Payton, for the Cards. I agree.
Hey, we can go. Let's go to the Cardinals real quick. So I agree with it. So go ahead, Joe.
No, I 100% agree because especially after yesterday. Like I said, the Reds came out strong, which I predicted that or whatever you want to call it. I love the Reds yesterday in this spot. All the stats pointing to the Cards, like I said. So, but again, it's you have to watch the line movement on this because a lot of Cardinals are a very, very public team. That's what happened yesterday on the reverse line movement. And I was telling my guys in the video, just watch it. You'll get a better price during game time. And sure enough, Cincinnati opened up the night before as a favorite, and they went to a pick 'em almost by game time. Right. So you're getting great value on Cincinnati with Castillo pitching.
Yeah.
Again, so it's that's where I'm at.
I agree. This game, this is one of the games that I have my selections in my preview in my other video. I bet the total on this one, so definitely check that out if you're interested in a total play.
I had Darvish written down, and instead of writing Chicago, I wrote the Cardinals. Oh my gosh, that is
it's
so
all right. It's all right. It's the first time.
Yeah,
we're all beginners at this. All right, so let's go ahead and move over to the Cubbies versus the Rockies. Darvish versus Marquez. Why don't you start us off, Joe?
Here again, I'm gonna go back to fading Darvish. That's like been a kind of a winning strategy for me. Obviously, from the beginning of the year. Darvish, I just again when he was at the Dodgers, hated that trade.
Yeah.
I didn't like him in Texas. I just don't. I'm not a Darvish fan. Let's put it that way. So I'm a little bit biased. He blew it for us, in the playoffs. Just horrible. So to me, he's always he comes on the pitching rotation, he's an auto fade. I just fade you Darvish. And Marquez, he's been great. His stats are a little misleading because his road and home splits. Obviously he's better on the road because the Rockies cooler thin air. It's misleading. So I am definitely leaning towards Colorado. That might be an official pick, but you'd have to check the video for my little teaser maybe. So that's
all right,
I'm definitely leaning toward the Cubs here because you're getting 50 cents in value per dollar, and they're on a 2-game win streak. And I'm all about these streaks. And depending on, do you have the over/under line? Do you have it opened yet? I don't have it.
No, Cubby games usually, it should be opened up though. They usually open up the day of, right, Jared? So
because the weather situation.
Right. Yeah, it's usually about a couple hours before game time. It's typically when they.
I'm projecting this at 6.5. So if it opens anything higher than that, I'll do the under.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's going to be above 6.5 for sure. Especially because I can't imagine, but we'll see. All right, so I lean.
Too. I mean, if it's blowing in, I'm gonna definitely do the under.
Yeah, there's definitely no total yet for Wrigley Field game. Like I said, they usually wait a couple hours before game time before they release it. So, but as far as my selection on this one, I would probably lean Cubbies here. They just beat the Rockies. That just had a 10-game win streak, and then prior to that, they whipped the Angels' ass. So I don't really have an official play on this one, but I'll lean the Cubs for sure. And let me pull up the next one. Internet's running slow. Okay, we got the Orioles taking on the Rangers now.
What a heartbreak.
I mean, they've scored. How many runs did they score yesterday? Like 23. I mean,
22. I think it's 22. I don't know.
I mean, who would have ever thought
Jared
that?
and I had a personal wager there. If they go over 20, I just threw that number out there. I couldn't even believe it hit.
I was like, this is the lock of the year. You give me two shit teams, Orioles and Rangers. I was like, I got this in the bag, and here I'm getting hustled by Payton over here. So she obviously knew something I didn't know.
I was going to buy him a flight to Vegas so we could record a live session. I was like, I'll pay for your flight if they go under 20.
Yeah, well,
I'll save you some money there.
I got so that's how you can tell I'm running bad when you take Orioles under 20 and you still lose. So anyway, so we got John Means taking on Mike Minor. So what do you think in this one, Kier or Peyton? Do you think that what am I trying to say here? That they're going to score 20 again?
I think it's definitely going over again, 9.5 for sure. But that's one of my premium picks. So you just got one of my video picks for free.
Oh man,
because I'm so excited that they went over for free.
What you got, Joe?
Yeah, and on that quick note, Payne, I think that's why yesterday we were talking before the games how that Grand Salami, because I know you're a big bettor of the Grand Salami. I mean, which is if people don't know, it's the over and under of all the games. And I think now we kind of are clear why they had it so high. They were expecting this in this game, this shenanigan of a game. I was like, I just turned it off after like the fifth inning. I said these two teams, the Dirty Birds, they're just crap teams. I mean, only if you're a fan, like. Shout out to that Dirty Bird. He always follows his birds. But to me, it's like, I'm just honestly not even going to watch this game. I'm just going to stay away. I'm just going to flip a coin. And wherever the coin lands, that's where I'm going with, I guess, if I have to. It's just like they're bad teams, It's like bad baseball. It's like, anyways, I could rant on, but I hate them both.
I'd probably lean the Rangers in this spot. But, I don't have a strong side either way. All right, next up, I just hope they score more or less than 20 runs. That's all. All right, so Red Sox versus. I'm not doing that bet again on this game. All right, Red Sox versus Royals. We got Chris Sale taking on Junis. Royals yesterday, they looked pretty good until they didn't, and then all of a sudden they lost. They got blown out 8-2. Chris Sale, he's still struggling. With the win-loss record, he's 1-7 on the year. So, what do y'all see on this one?
There is no value in Boston. I would never bet that. Negative 220 when they should have opened at negative 137.
Yeah, they're just. I mean, Boston just put them up there with the Yankees, my Dodgers. I hate to say it, just public overvalued teams. I mean, again, if you really must want action on this game, is wait to see if Junis could pitch past 5 innings and keeps the Red Sox in check and. try, because I do like Red Sox. Like I said, as a team, they're coming back. They're making a little bit of a resurgence, especially since that East is going to be very difficult. Tampa Bay's good team. Yankees, of course, going to get all their starters back soon. So the Boston has to really put some good games together, and they have to. This is where they have to beat these teams that they have to beat, like the Royals, like the Orioles, like the Blue Jays, just teams that they have to beat. So again, but I'm not laying over 200 on a. I don't care if it's Chris Sale, Fernando Valenzuela, or whoever it was, blast from the past. I just will not lay. You will never catch me laying minus 200 on any team ever. So I'm just.
I think the better play is probably the over here.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I mean that's especially with
you never know what kind of Chris Sale you're going to get here. So let's see, and also Junis, he struck out. Let's see here, he struck out last time out seven batters, allowing 2 earned runs in 7 innings. He recorded his second quality start in a row versus the Rangers. I probably would lean Red Sox to win. However, like you said, I can't take minus 200 on this game. So there's value on the other side as well. Hey, we do have 3 games left. Let's go ahead and knock them out real quick. We got Reds versus Cardinals.
Did we go?
Oh no, we already did that one. That's right.
Yeah, I think.
Let's see here. We have.
Thanks to my writing error.
Yeah, it was a 2 for 1 special, so we got
it. we got 2 games left. We got the A's versus the Angels. We got Migden versus Cam Bedrosian. He's the opener. What y'all got?
I would take the Angels here.
Yeah, I'm again being in California. I'm just a big follower of the Angels and Dodgers, but I don't like Oakland this spot. I mean, Angels yesterday. I was on Oakland yesterday for the record. We were talking in chat and people were asking me, excuse me. And Oakland was to play yesterday with, like I said, their pitching staff. Today I just hate that opener thing. I just wish they would do away, but that's here to stay now. No, I would have to lean Angels, but it's not an official play. It's just another game I'm not interested. So that's where I'm at.
I'm leaning Angels, but I actually have a pretty heavy lean on the over in this one, so that might be something I add later.
I agree. Forward. It looks so good. The over looks so good.
So I mean, hopefully. All right. So next game we have is the Houston Astros, the 2019 World Series champions, taking on the Seattle Mariners. You got Brad Peacock of all people versus Mike Leake. Who wants to start this one off?
I can do it. I would take the Astros on the run line here. You're getting like positive 106, I believe, and so just for that little bit of positive money, I think that the Astros are going to kick butt today.
Yeah.
And I would lean toward the over, but I wouldn't bet the over. Astros have a high contact, so like 40% of their hitters make contact to the ball, and this pitcher here, Leake, he's just not good. They're going to get a lot of hits on him, I think.
So
Leake is leaky. Leaky is leaky. Yeah, he is. That's to say, Leake is. Yeah. I'm gonna. Yeah, he's not. Sure. I mean, on this game, same thing. I do agree with yesterday. We were watching that game live too, and Houston just. I don't know if you guys were watching. I think Houston is just a damn good team. I'm gonna say, Jerry. I'm gonna admit here on camera. I am a little scared if Houston goes up with the World Series against the Dodgers, but. Yeah. I mean, they're just their depth is amazing with Altuve, Springer, and those guys still out. Mm-hmm. They're still, I mean, they're a good team. So again, I'm gonna look at the line movement because I'm seeing a little money coming in on Leak of his name. Just another brand pitcher, and I am gonna lean heavily towards Houston. If I can get them to go down the game, then I'll take them even more. But as of right now, I'm just leaning pretty good with Houston.
So a couple of things to look at here. Brad Peacock, he changed his mechanics. He's pitching from a full windup now, where he used to pitch just from the stretch position. Ever since then, he's 3-0 with a .93 ERA in his last 5 starts. He's struck out 35 batters over 29 innings, only allowing 1 home run. So pretty much since I bet him versus the Twins, and he totally crapped the bed in that game. And ever since then, he's like, you know what? I feel like I got to do better, and I guess Payton talked to him, and now he's doing well. On the other end, Mike Leake, 31-year-old, he's 0-3 versus the Astros with a 5.5 ERA and 4
Oh,
starts
okay.
versus Houston last year. So, yeah, that'll do it for all the games. So, hey, I definitely appreciate you guys coming out here and letting me know what's going on. I hope you guys had a good time.
Oh yeah, I guess so. We
When
got
are we
some.
doing this again?
I'd like to do it tomorrow. So,
Well,
yeah,
I'm gonna make a
Same
bold
time,
prediction
same
here
place.
what's your bold prediction?
that people are gonna like this video a lot better than the one yesterday because we have it. Or you're gonna get more views on this one. How about
That's
that
right.
one? So I
Make
don't
sure
know.
you choose the cutest thumbnail of me, okay? I don't care what you guys look like.
All
Oh
right.
well.
All
Okay,
right, guys.
guys.
Definitely check out Miss Payton Sports Girl, Mr. Joe with live betting sports daily, and then of course I'm Jared with Sports Gambling Daily. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Good luck to all of you guys.
See you later, Philly fan.
$1 million.
That's right.
All
All
right.
right.
All right.
Peace.
Bye bye.